Blizzard have upended World of Warcraft. I agree. This is the beginning of something intense. This is the beginning of a new, not just saga, but a new chapter. A new book, almost, in the World of Warcraft histories. The World of Warcraft Infinity Saga begins now, boys. Let's see what Blelilar has to say about it.
BlizzCon, my hope, our dear hope, is that you can see when it comes to WoW storytelling, we ain't screwing around.
Yeah. It's exciting, man.
We are playing for all the marbles. We are working to establish a thundering heartbeat for this franchise.
Welcome back, everyone. Right now, my team are working really hard on a stack of deep dive content coming up soon. But first, I think this is the big question that everyone's asking in their head. Was announcing 3 expansions the right move for WoW?
I don't think he's going to leave after the Infinity Saga.
What does it mean for us? What does it mean for you? Because this is actually changing the paradigm of what being a, well, WoW-following person is. And of course, to get the obvious out of the way, yes, this is straight from the Marvel playbook. I mean, come on, it's called the World Soul Saga. Or I suppose also Bungie with Destiny.
If you've ever watched Marvel, reveal their plans going forward, it really felt like the same thing. It felt like we were at a Marvel convention and they were revealing the next set of movies that they were going to do. And this does feel like the Infinity Saga. It truly does.
And that really means their first goal here is to solve
I'm
the
telling
big
you guys,
problem.
we're going to have an Anduin putting out his hand, grabbing Charlemagne and saying, Azeroth, assemble. And then just everybody who we've ever known in the story. You're going to have Khadgar, Illidan, every hero from the Alliance, every hero from the Horde, potentially Sargeras, Tyr, all the boys just lined up, ready to fight. And it's going to be the most epic battle ever. I'm telling you, we're going to have that moment. And when we do, you're going to need to wear extra pants that day because they're going to be blown off.
Of being a fan of WoW. And that's the one we've all felt for the last few expansion launches, that there's an uncertain future, right? That it's a coin flip between the
I will have no
copium
hair
of
by
doom,
then.
that every 2 years could make or break World of Warcraft again. Not anymore. Now we actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
We know
this is
going
to happen faster than 6 years.
Cynically, that means you can get excited for them all at once. You can consume all the product. But more seriously, though, I think if you see this, it can get you a bit more excited, right? You can envision playing WoW for all of these years to come because you know that, outline of content is there. And that means you feel your investment, your time, your energy, your fandom, that will actually be, theoretically, respected.
Yeah, probably kill the last time.
It is a big gamble. If you didn't get excited by the big vision that Metzen showed on stage, in a way, it's over, right? If the World Soul Saga isn't interesting to you,
it's interesting.
then now you know it's the time to cut the cord and to go, right? And for a lot of people, that may have happened.
And when is Thanos? No, I think the Titans are Thanos, essentially. That's what we're going to do. I really think we're getting the beginning of everything in this expansion. The Shadow one, or whatever, at Midnight, we're probably going to be fighting against the Void in Midnight a lot. There's going to be a lot of anti-Void stuff going on. Potentially the Titans could help us do that. Maybe a bunch of the Titans die in that one. And then the last Titan after that. So we've kind of pushed back the Void. The Void is done. The last Titan, maybe there's only one Titan left standing after our battle with the Void. And it turns out now he's going to try to end us. Now he's going to try to break the planet open, free Azeroth, whatever, and we fight against him. Right? There could be that flip moment, and then like I said, to defeat a Titan, you're going to need an Avengers Assemble moment, and that's going to happen.
During the War Within, the story doesn't stick, or maybe during Midnight, Blizzard aren't going to be able to surprise you with a big new expansion concept that'll win you back. And that's the thing. Since the sort of decline of Cataclysm, Blizzard have always had to ride on the next expansion concept being so big, so cool that it saves the game. Now they don't have that option anymore. And as Metzen says, they are playing for all the marbles. And that's what kind of matters, because they know this is risky, but they are displaying, I think, a confidence they haven't really shown before.
I agree.
We, in a way, have a similar story. So check out today's actually not sponsor, because it's us. Here's the deal. We're opening membership site full of written content, podcasts. Basically, we're moving off Patreon. We're doing it ourselves, away from the big platform. And straight up, the reason why is we want to build away from, honestly, being dependent on
evergreen features,
sponsors, so we can do more cool shit, like lore videos, like War in the Plaguelands. There's nearly 30 hours of lore podcasts up there.
The new hero system, or whatever it's called, that looks like something that's going to be evergreen and really cool. Zalateth will be our fan of Thanos. We won't defeat her until the 30. Potentially, yeah.
There's a follow-up, but you can head to the link in the description now to learn all about it and join up as a member. We're very excited.
By the way, Zalateth's new model.
Awesome creative shit. So that's all very fun. Link down below.
Nice.
And now, let's talk about the impact of Metzen. I want Metzen at every party I'm ever at. He brings this level of energy, delivery,
He did great.
storytelling potential that is
great.
honestly, it is really
We knew he
incredible.
would, though.
He was brought back to Blizzard for one purpose, to save World of Warcraft, or at least to be the face of that, right? The energy of that. And that's what happened tonight. From the first What Up BlizzCon,
Such good
I would
cinematic,
properly shout, but I'm in a
like,
hotel room, that would be rude.
looks-wise.
He really brought the energy that we all kind of knew him for way back in the day with the old expansion reveals. And for the past year, they've clearly been cooking on that creative front. Back in Shadowlands, they talked about this being like, the final page in the Warcraft story, the Warcraft 3 book, and
really.
nobody bought that shit.
Not really.
With
It was more like the
Metzen's
final piece of
delivery
toilet
and how he
paper.
introduced the World Soul Saga, there's something new at play, though. There's a bit of a vision. This, Metzen is implying, isn't the same World
True,
of Warcraft that felt like it's been shifting and changing, unsure of itself, unwilling to kind of stand for something and stick to its guns, with, say, the obvious content that was not there in the middle of Warlords of Draenor.
I would say really like Shadowlands, BFA, like it has felt like for a while that Blizzard has been writing as they go. Like they're not sure how things are going to end or where things are going to go as we're doing the story. And that's why they never tell us what's going on. And then that just leaves us feeling like janky and weird and like, I don't know why I'm playing kind of feeling. This saga, the World Soul Saga, feels like it's already written. The whole story is laid out. They know exactly what they're doing, and it's going to feel good to play through it because of that. I'm fucking pumped.
Battle
I'm
for
not gonna
Azeroth's
lie.
breakneck twists and
I
turns.
wasn't when they announced it, but as I got into
apparent
it,
changes from its early
like, this is gonna be good.
planning and all of that bizarreness, and even with Dragonflight kind of missing the mark in some of its story, despite their best efforts. It's been a long time since WoW's story has actually felt like well planned. Never mind, planned and executed on. So when the creative director steps on stage and says this,
Now is the time to come home.
yeah,
Now is the time
to
to
resub.
pull on your boots.
That's what he's saying.
Pick up your broadsword or your favorite glowy staff and get in this fight. Friends, Azeroth needs her defenders now more than ever.
certainly as a rallying cry, right? If you've got 1 ounce of love for the franchise left, it's going to be stirred up by that. And for the first time in WoW's history, they made a big promise on stage that they will have a multi-expansion story to tell that they are firmly committing to.
And it's going to happen
also
quick.
helps that Metzen was trying to sell us a story, not a product. His choice of descriptions, the way that he addressed players, it wasn't trying to talk to a room full of consumers. It did feel like...
I don't know if we're ever going to get to Avalorn anymore, because he already talked about the fact that the other 2 expansions, one we're going back to Northrend, and one we're going to like Quel'Thalas in the Blood Elf area, and we're going to unite all the elves, something like that. So we're obviously going to get a revamped Northrend. We're going to get a revamped Silvermoon, all that shit, finally. Thank God. I knew that shit was coming. I knew it. I called that one. But I don't know if we'll ever get another continent. I really feel like that new Delve system they announced is really... It's going to be good for this expansion, but what it's really for is revamping the entire world and creating content in the world that can be playable once it's revamped, right? Because I said it before, you revamp Ungoro Crater, what's the point? Why are we going to go back to Ungoro Crater? No reason. Oh, you put a Delve in there now? Now there's a reason to go there. Now there's a reason to revamp everything.
We all like the same shit, and that's what we get excited about. Kind of like what Metzen did back
I
in the
love
day
Varian.
with a lot of those big talks at
So I want to
BlizzCon.
see Anduin succeed because I love Varian. I don't know if I'm Team Anduin yet. I want to see how Anduin matures here.
None of this good-sounding stuff stops them from making the same mistakes again, but the communication is the only thing that they can show us right now, and it is different, it is better, and that's a really good start.
I think the Silvermoon one's going to be the next
on our
one.
Friday stream,
And
we
then the
covered an
Northrend one.
apology
I might be
forum
wrong.
post
Might flip.
that Chris made for when he botched the Draenei lore coming into the Burning Crusade. He made this huge post in the forums explaining what happened. He was really apologetic. He took the blame squarely on himself, and just check out this line specifically. You all pay good money to adventure
the
through
Blood Elf
this
Zone.
world month by month, and you deserve the best we can give. Don't lose faith, we'll do you proud. And I think he echoed some of that today, saying that they still have to do their job right, which to me felt like a bit of a subtle admission that, things didn't always go well recently. I mean, if you've been watching us for the last few years, we've made it rather clear what we thought in some of those matters. Now, obviously, Metzen has got a lot of work to do to live up to all these promises, right, that him and Blizzard are making on the stage. But enough of the meta stuff. Let's just get into the saga.
Some people were saying that that everything was so fucked up that when Chris Metzen came up, he was like, when he came into the office the first day, he goes, "Damn, this is fucked. I need 3 expansions to fix this shit. You guys really fucked it up. I can't fix this all in one expansion. We need 3." Which is fine.
The War
If it takes
Within,
3, it
part
takes
1
3.
of 3, we're introduced to Anduin, or Manduin, dudes shaken, and their portrayal in the cinematic, like, from a technical perspective,
Unbelievable.
that's one of the best portrayals of a human in CG that I've seen.
Yeah.
The way he flinches at thralls.
It's not just World of Warcraft, but in terms of like seeing a human in CG, blew my mind. There were like, especially the eyes. You look into the eyes and you're like, how is this not a real person? This looks like a real person. Blizzard might have just created, the most realistic cinematic I've ever seen for anything.
Touch, but is able to sort of pull himself together. The World Soul of Azeroth.
I am excited for
speaking to
10.2.
them,
I think it's going to be fun.
We have
Some good
Xal'atath,
content to
Harbinger
finish
of
out
the Void, a crystal of light and void, like the Naru, Illyria, the Void Elf, and, of course, the area underneath Sargeras' sword, and the sword itself, too, right? It's basically a collection
all the new models
of
look
the
good.
threads left unwound by the last few expansions, seemingly pulled together into one story. The War Within, referring to the war within Azeroth, but also, I think, within our heroes and our factions. How will Anduin respond to humans wielding the light when he can't? Will he embrace the void, as some things had sort of suggested? What will it mean for Illyria? Or Turalyon, who's been very notably absent? Remember, Turalion's greatest
we got
loyalty,
2 days,
besides
exactly.
the light, was to Anduin Lothar, who, of course, we thought was the last of the Rithai bloodline. Not so. Light,
This
void,
gear
how
looked
they impact the
amazing, by
world.
the way.
So
When I saw this gear, I was like, damn. The plate set, I know my head is blocking it right now, but this shit looks amazing. Oh my god. I want to get these sets. Like I said, the Arathi, in general, I think this is the coolest story that they kind of hinted at so far. Was this zone and the story that goes with
reaching out
it.
for
The
help.
whole like
That's
crystal
kind of
going out and the invasions that'll happen when the light from the crystal goes out. It was really
like
cool.
part 1. And I know that could sound like a bunch of cosmic-y things. I want to be very clear, though. I like how they are exploring that in a very boots-on-the-ground way. Like,
Yeah,
what
we
are
do
the
still have
new,
another
like,
week,
races and
but I'm gonna be
factions?
playing the new
We have
shit,
got
so I'm not gonna do it.
dwarves. I mean, Earthen, right? That's awesome. We've got these, like, Arithai humans that are these, like, fire, light-wielding sort of paladin dudes with
Really
big,
cool.
like, airships. That's
Yeah, really cool.
And Nerubians. So this isn't crazy, weird stuff. This is, like, core Warcraft stuff. Which is why it feels good to me. And why, like, at the end of the day, you know,
sugar
light,
does.
void. Before things got a bit weird in Shadowlands, like, that actually was genuinely cool shit we got excited about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, part 2. World of Warcraft Midnight. What a name. We know less about it, but we know we don't wrap up the story with the War Within. That's kind of neat, because the Void makes an insurgence into Azeroth and clearly attacks the Sunwell. According to Chris, we will go around reuniting elven tribes like
So it is. It's the midnight. The midnight expansion will be the one that we go back to the Blood Elf areas zones, because that is where the Sunwell is, and supposedly they want to. The Void wants to get to the Sunwell. Like that's part of Zalatesh's plan is to infect the Sunwell or something like that. If you ever played a Void Elf, we did go there at one point, and the Sunwell kind of like had an immune system reaction to the Void Elves being there. Anyways, that is going to lead to a revamp, and Chris Metzen said this himself. They are going to revamp those zones. So that is like the first world revamp that is confirmed that we are getting for sure. And I guarantee you, when they revamp it, guess what we're going to get in those zones? Those new revamped zones. New delves. I'm telling you, the delve system is the revamp system. That's why they put it in the game. It's not just for this expansion. That delve world content system is going to be the reason for the world revamp. And that's why I got so excited when I saw it. I don't know if a lot of people knew that or noticed that. But that's a big thing for a world revamp.
Blood, high, what else? I don't know. This is probably going to be the expansion, perhaps with
GameStop
Ashara's,
pre-orders,
once
man, I miss
Elven
those.
Naga, butting heads of their former kin, as well as one where we'll maybe deal with the Void a bit more proper. And based on how
We're gonna
Metzen
unite the
said
elves
it,
or something in that
once and
expansion,
for all,
too.
It's also part of their world revamp, starting with Quel'Thalas. That was incredibly exciting. It's one of the most exciting things that we know that they have this planned, that they've even started work on it already, of course, judging by at least one tweet from a dev today. Actually, no, that's just one of the many exciting things. The very exciting thing is we're going to have a whole expansion that is designed to lead into our final one. the last Titan.
The
final
end game.
part of this World Soul Saga. The big thrilling conclusion, the last Titan, where we will learn everything about the Titans. And with a title like The Last Titan, I think we can only imagine what's in store here. Is that Azeroth? Is that Aman'Thul? What, I don't know, kills the rest of them?
It's WoW Endgame, 100%. This is the Infinity Saga.
We actually know those answers will be coming. It's not just pointless speculation of things that could happen. We actually know and have confidence that they're moving in a direction. Suffice to say, we'll be doing a very deep look into all of this once that lore gets its breathing room. So that essentially is our journey. I don't think it'll be 6 years. I think it'll be 4. I think it'll be like an expansion every
year and a half.
Okay, how's this going to work?
I could see that happening.
This is the furthest ever we've been able to see into the future for WoW. That feels kind of crazy. We're going to have a difficult time doing lore speculation within a story already laid out, but that's new, it's different, it feels confident, and to me that's quite exciting as a creator at least. All we can do is hope that they
kind of does look like Cortana, you're right,
to lead us into this World Soul Saga that feels like a saga and not just a collection of stuff they've pulled together on a whim. And I suppose to me, this is what WoW looks like with a creative director at the wheel.
Exactly.
The question is, are you in? So far for me, it does feel like yes. That cinematic was really good, kind of hit me in the feels.
I will say, like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I was like, I want the Warcraft back in war. I want the war, back in Warcraft, right? I was like, I'm sick of this touchy-feely Dragonflight shit. And I'll be honest, this expansion was very touchy-feely. But it was touchy-feely in a different way. This man is clearly scarred by the things that have happened. Like he is essentially war-torn, right? Like the events of the past have really gotten to him. And the reason why I was okay with this cinematic not giving us some kind of like grandiose, big, epic, Varians chopping through the Legion moment is because it's only the first part. That's why I was okay with it. This is the beginning of what is probably going to lead to the most epic cinematic we've ever seen. I'll put that on the table right now. I guarantee you, by the time we get to that Titan expansion, we're probably going to have some of the most epic war, action-packed cinematics we've ever seen. This one was okay for me just to lay the groundwork. And that's why I thought it was okay. And that moment where they showed the sword, let me tell you, that sword was not the only thing standing up. That was a fucking cool moment. That was a badass moment. It was really cool. Yeah, he's a veteran with PTSD. Yeah, essentially. He is a result of war. So I was okay with all this, and just like the look of it was unbelievable. I mean, aesthetically, the CG was unbelievable. I've never seen anything that realistic. Not just in WoW, ever, anywhere. So I'm okay with it. I'm down for it.
Come on. I massively came into my own during Wrath of the Lich King. So you're telling me we basically go to like Ankahat properly, or like whatever the new one's called? That is really
I love the
cool.
look of Isle of Dorn.
All this stuff
looks awesome.
Looking really good. New game features looking really good. Knowing that like whenever I'm doing lore speculation videos, there is a framework. So I feel like I can actually add value and not just be throwing random things out into space. And I suppose just that broader
maybe you're right. So talking about the cadence and how fast this stuff's going to go, I know Beliar's kind of talking about the look of it and everything, but maybe we're only going to maybe we get patches quicker, though. Maybe we get the same amount of raids. It kind of seems like 3 raids is like the new norm. Maybe we get them, but a bit quicker. I don't know if that means we're going to eliminate a raid from the rotation or just get everything a little bit faster.
They are showing that is really good. It's something that Matt actually said in our guild Discord. It's how I want to end the video.
I don't think Anduin's going to run away anymore.
Matt, that it's basically like they've salvaged all of the plot threads from the last few expansions that kind of like can work and do have like good shit in them. A good example.
Yeah, probably no faded.
Anduin's trauma is part of a storyline that I didn't think was particularly well done, right? But overall, it is a compelling place for that character to be. So to me, it seems like they are taking all the bits that they can sort of salvage and then moving on again.
He's had a rough childhood, man.
Like this is the sequel.
I think we're going to see Anduin become a man.
A bunch of things have happened from Legion till now, but this feels like the true sequel to Legion. At the end of the day.
Also, one other thing: can we get a cape like this in game? Like I want a over the shoulder. I've been saying that since we saw Arthas. Can I get a cape that hangs over the shoulder like this and goes around the? This is a badass looking cape. I'm not gonna like this whole like wandering nomad cape. I fucking want it.
Legion till now, but this feels like the true sequel to Legion. At the end of the day. Sargeras stuck that sword in, and we were all like, okay, that's going to be crazy. Where's the story going to go? And with Azerite, we got a little bit of that with Azerite, but then it just stopped. It feels like now it's actually picking up where perhaps it always should have. But with a far larger team.
Trading
and I think
postcapes
quite
are
clearly
the trading
a lot
postcapes
of
are nice.
lessons being learned when we look at how like account-wide stuff is, when you look at the delves, right, actually having a proper pillar of content for world content players, like
Yeah,
a lot of
a
those
world
changes.
content
Yeah, it
progression
feels like this is
pillar
perhaps a WoW
system.
team
It's
that's
awesome.
actually able to pull this off. It's pretty exciting to me. Okay. Let
Maybe
me
Jake.
know. Let me know what you think. I will, if you're at BlizzCon. Hello. I'll probably see you at the Hilton lobby, like tonight or tomorrow. Right? It's going to be crazy. Of course, you can check out our new site and all of that at that link down below. If you're a patron, don't worry. We can like roll you over onto it. We're going to be moving off Patreon, but like we're not cutting it off or anything. We're just like moving over, eventually to where our new home will be. But yeah. The boys have put a bunch of content on that. It's all looking real awesome. So
if there was ever a
yeah,
BlizzCon to go to,
some
it was
love.
this one.
And,
I fucking wish I had been
thank you
there.
for watching. I will see you in the next one.
What a great BlizzCon it was. The announcements, like I said, when everything first hit me in BlizzCon, when I was watching it on Friday, I felt like a little bit down at first. I was like, what? And then as he started to explain things, as they started to go into it more, and especially when they had the whole, the sit down or whatever they called it, I don't know. The moment where they kind of go deeper into the systems, my eyes started to open up. And I was like, damn, wait a minute. I think this is huge. I think this is good. I think we're heading in the right direction. I got excited. And I hope this excitement isn't misplaced. I do. I really think this is the right thing for a while, and I think it's going in the right place.